Today, my friends, I am taking you on a very special walk. Before I moved into Gypsy, I was living in Dunsborough, which is about 2.5 hours south of Perth in Western Australia. And this was one of my favourite walks to do in the afternoon. I felt so blessed every day to be able to have access to this. So, we're going to start off in Old Dunsborough on Hereford Street. And what we're doing here is just making sure we clean our shoes to make sure there's no dieback in them. So, dieback is a soil-borne water mold that will affect the root systems of plants and it will kill the plants. So it is important when you see those cleaning stations to please use them to make sure you're not bringing that dye back into an area that doesn't have it. And as you can see by this water, one of the big reasons why I love this area so much. So it's just these magnificent turquoise colours. The water is as clear as a bell. It is unbelievable. It's one of those, it looks like something off a postcard, where you would see the shadows from the boats in the water because it's so clear. It's a real water activity area, so there's a lot of sailboats, a lot of fishing boats, there's jet skis, there's kayakers, stand-up boards, snorkelers. It's a really loved area, but it's actually not that busy when you take that walk along here, which is kind of why I like it so much. And there's so many little bays that you can go into. There are some, they do those, what do you call them, like the marathons where they're going in the water and they're doing the runs and that. So they do a few of those along here as well. So one of the first little bays that we're going to go into is Curtis Bay. And quite often when I come down here, there's just no one else there. So it's like you're just getting this paradise of a little beach to yourself. It is just... you just feel so lucky and so blessed to be there.
The sunlight dances on the balcony as I wait for thee to come home. I fumble my words, yeah, my mind's a mess when you're in that dress. Glad you're home. Will you stay with me and never leave? You walked into my life and I am glad you came, glad you came. When you're not around I've been broken. Glad you came, glad you came. I was lost till I fell in your eyes. Had me wondering why I feel like home. I hold you.
Now I was sitting here with my camera and I couldn't believe what I spotted. It's this beautiful osprey, and I originally thought, oh gosh, is it a sea eagle? Because it was so big. But the sea eagles and the ospreys, the difference is the osprey has that dark marking going back down the side of its head from its eye, whereas the sea eagle won't have that. It's a bit lighter colouring. And I think this was a female because the females are larger than the males in this species. And she had some beautiful brown feathers on her chest, which is what the females normally have. I think the males may have a few, but they're not quite pronounced. I'm not a bird expert though, so I could be wrong. Anyone in the comment section wants to correct me, please do so. But yeah, she was just beautiful. She let me edge closer and closer gradually, and I was trying to do it nice and quietly, but I was failing miserably. So I felt really lucky to have spent this time with her. I've had to come down to this bush because I just needed shade, but she is so close. She's quite happy just for me to sit here and take photos of it. So ospreys mainly eat fish, but they can also eat snakes and frogs, birds and mammals, small mammals. Their population has definitely increased over the last 40 to 50 years. I don't remember seeing a lot of them as a child, but I have grown to love birds a lot in my adult years. So, but yes, there's definitely more of them now than when I was younger. They can live up to 24 years, but they more commonly live between 8 to 10 years. They will lay 2 to 4 eggs, and those eggs will incubate for about 35 to 43 days. And their indigenous name is dawn. They are a protected species, but their conservation status is not threatened. You will see a bigger population in the northern parts of WA apparently. So yes, anyway, I felt extremely blessed to see this one today. I'm going to keep walking around now to Castle Rock, and this track you can actually keep taking. I think this one will go all the way up to the lighthouse, which is the start of the Cape to Cape track. And I think it's about 132 kilometres or something, and it goes all along the coast from one lighthouse to the other. It is something I'd really love to do, so stay tuned. Maybe later in the year I might try and attempt that. I want to start doing multi-day it would be amazing to see these spectacular views the whole way. But anyway, I digress. We've made it now to Castle Rock, and as you can see, aptly named after its beautiful rock formation. And I was looking into the history of the area and surprised to find out that there actually was a whaling station here, Castle Bay Whaling Station, which I could understand why, because you do get quite a lot of whales coming through here from May to December typically, and there'll be blue whales, humpbacks, southern right whales. So beautiful to see. I've actually found a whale skull in a bay much further around before, which was a pretty cool find. So yeah, anyway, I'll just leave you to enjoy this beautiful view. On the other side of Castle Rock there is Meelup Beach, which is a really great place for swimming as well. It's all very sheltered from the wind around here too. So yes, enjoy, and I hope you enjoyed all this beautiful scenery on my trip today.
I hold you close so you're by my side till the end of time before we go. Will you stay with me, never leave? You walked into my life and I am glad you came, glad you came. When you're not around, I feel broken. Glad you came, glad you came, glad you came, glad you came, glad you came.